for Democratic Change permission to go ahead with their planned march on Tuesday, the 5th of June.
The demonstration is aimed at the country's elections body's failure to implement a range of electoral reforms. The MDC believes these reforms are the basis for a free and credible election that the Zimbabwean President Emmerson Mnangagwa has been preaching and promising.
The MDC believes these reforms are the basis for a free and credible election that the Zimbabwean President Emmerson Mnangagwa has been preaching and promising.
Our peaceful discussions and negotiations have yielded nothing, so we will be flooding the streets of Harare on Tuesday, the 5th of June 2018.
The opposition MDC rallying its charges in demanding what they believe are the preconditions and requisites for a free and fair election. Chief among them is the issue of the voters' roll.
But this election has been called when the state and the Zimbabwe Election Commission has not attended to rudimentary components of electoral decency, just basic things. So the first basic thing is the voters' roll. As you know, the voters' roll inspection period only ended on the 29th of May. So political parties and candidates do not have access to that voters' roll. Yet the voters' roll is so key in the election process, particularly on nomination, because a candidate can only be nominated by people that are on the voters' roll.
However, the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission dismissed the claims, saying all political parties will have free access to the voters' roll before the 14th of June when nomination court sits.
The final voters' roll will be available a few days before the sitting of the nomination court. It will be availed to successful candidates at the nomination court free of charge at our expense. If you've successfully nominated for council, you're successfully nominated to parliament, you're successfully nominated as a presidential candidate, you will receive a soft copy or an e-copy of the final voters' roll at the Commission's expense. Thereafter, such copies and or hard copies will be available to any member of the public who approaches our Secretariat and pays the requisite fee.
The ruling ZANU-PF has described the call by the MDC as a desperate attempt to seek attention and disrupt the prevailing peaceful environment in the country.
What comes out abundantly clear is that the MDCT is a violent and a retrogressive party whose existence thrives on chaos and suffering of the people. Hence, the utterances cannot come as a surprise. The ZANU-PF party urges all peace-loving Zimbabweans to shun violence and be united as they prepare to freely exercise their democratic right to elect leaders of their choice as treasured in the national constitution.
Previous demonstrations by the opposition in the past have turned violent as demonstrators and police clashed.
The president of the